Dr Nandipha used Bester's alias to stay in luxury accommodation in Bloemfontein and Ballito in the weeks before he escaped prison. Nandipha, who's facing charges of murder and aiding Thabo Bester's escape, used Bester's alias to book accommodation in Bloemfontein and Ballito in the weeks leading up to the escape. More than 120,000 rands was spent on those bookings. The police were informed by both the property manager and us of the invoice for a luxury hotel in Bloemfontein over a week ago. The invoice was left behind in the Hyde Park mansion where Bester and Magudumana were staying. The police raided the house but didn't enter a section of the property with the invoice and Magudumana's diary. As of Friday, the police had not sent anyone to pick up the invoice and diary, nor had they contacted the hotel in question. Thabo Bester escaped from Mangaung Correctional Center in Bloemfontein on 3 May 2022 after faking his death in a fire in his prison cell. He sometimes used the alias Tiki Ngwana and used a fake ID in that name to sign lease agreements while in prison. In the 2 months before the escape, the Airbnb profile in the name of Tiki Ngwana was used to make at least 10 bookings at luxury properties in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal. One of these bookings was for a mansion in an estate in Ballito Bay in KwaZulu-Natal. From 12 to 14 March 2022, the Airbnb host told Ground Up that he spoke to a man called TK on the phone before the booking. The booking cost 18,000 rands. According to the Airbnb host, TK provided the names and ID numbers of 4 people to stay in the house. Magudumana's ID was provided, but she used the name Dr. Enjoy Magudumana Ngwana. 3 others were also registered, 2 of whom were the co-directors of Magudumana's company, Vibes Africa International. It is understood that Magudumana's children also stayed at the house but did not have to provide their ID numbers because they were underage. A week and a half later, on March 24, 2022, Magudumana checked in at a luxury hotel in Bloemfontein, which is a 30-minute drive from Mangaung Correctional Center. She provided a copy of her ID upon check-in, but the booking, which had been made online, was under TK Ngwana. The manager of the hotel told Ground Up that Magudumana made a second visit to the hotel on 13 to 14 April. The second booking was also made by TK Ngwana. The police SEPs confirmed in Parliament on Thursday that Magudumana claimed 3 bodies from the state morgue in Bloemfontein, one of which was the body that was found in Bester's prison cell. The Sunday Times previously reported that this took place in early April. G4S, the multinational company that operates and partly owns the prison, told Parliament on Wednesday that Bester received regular visits from Magudumana starting in 2017. The last recorded visit was in December 2021, but the Judicial Inspectorate for Correctional Services said that Magudumana had made an appointment to see Bester on Valentine's Day, 14 February 2022. The appointment was later cancelled on 15 April 2022, the day after Magudumana checked out of the hotel in Bloemfontein. Bester applied to be held in a single cell due to safety concerns, but he later withdrew his application. JCS told Parliament that during their investigations they were informed by an inmate that Bester had received a secret, unrecorded visit on 16 April. Magudumana again checked in at the Ballito accommodation on 19 April and stayed for 11 nights, this time accompanied by 3 others, one of whom was a co-director of Vibes Africa International. The booking was made by TK, one of Bester's alias, who had reached out to the host directly on WhatsApp. The 11-night stay cost a total of 90,500 rands. It was booked well in advance and paid for on 23 March. On 28 April 2022, Bester successfully applied to be held in a single cell and was moved. On 3 May, a fire broke out in his cell, a body was burnt, and he escaped from the prison. 2 days later, On May 5, Magudumana claimed the body from the state morgue, saying she was Bester's customary law wife. Magudumana left the country via the Beitbridge border on May 9. This was revealed by Home Affairs Minister Aaron Motsoaledi on Friday. She returned to South Africa on 12 May. In the months after Thabo Bester's escape, the Airbnb account was used at least another 10 times, with the last booking in February 2023. Ground Up understands that the estate in Bellito, where Magudumana stayed, was inspected by the Hawks in early April. We asked two prison officials at Mangaung Correctional Center whether it would have been possible for Bester to leave the prison for brief stints. One official said that Bester often required mental health treatment and that prisoners will occasionally have to go on an external hospital. In December 2022, another inmate at MCC escaped while in the hospital. But another official who has worked in the admissions department since 2013, which records all hospital visits by prisoners, said that he had no collection of Bester ever leaving the prison. He says the system was watertight and it would have been almost impossible for Bester to leave the prison. But G4S told Parliament on Wednesday that according to the prison's records, Bester visited an outset specialist 5 times in 2015 and once in 2016. G4S, the company that operates the prison, and the Department of Correctional Services did not respond to our questions. A SAPS spokesperson, Colonel Atlanta Mate, said, "We cannot provide blow-by-blow feedback on the evidence gathered and collected thus far. We request space for the detectives to do their work without undue pressure." That's all I had for you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Honestly, Bester was ruling, guys. I'll see you on the next one.